All right, how you guys doing today? About to hop into the review of Proverbs chapter 25. This is part 2. If you haven't seen the first one, I kind of suggest you go check it out. You know what I'm saying? I kind of suggest you check out the whole Bible, let alone me reading it, or breaking it down for you, whatever you want to get. But this isn't coming from me. I actually I read scriptures, I watch sermons, I read commentaries, and then I kind of just give my take, quote unquote. So I say what I've learned, and then if I have any story that kind of resonates with it, as a 21-year-old college kid, then I say that, give you some like practical use for it, because I'm big on practicalities. Too much yapping. The first things first, I just want to make sure you guys like that video. You know what to do. Hit the likes at full screen, scroll just a little bit, like it, and then full screen it back up. You feel me? All right, so last time we left off with verse 7, so we're going to hop on to verse 8. Go not forth hastily to strive, lest thou know what to do at the end thereof when thy neighbor has put thee to shame. Right, so when it says go not forth hastily to strive, this is basically saying don't rush into conflict. Don't seek out what's the word? Combative situations, confliction, right? Don't seek out confliction. I don't even know if that's a word, to be honest, and I don't feel like looking it up. Right, but don't hastily get into conflicts unless for fear that you know not what to do in the end. Right, so many times they said in the other translation, they'd be like, don't go into court too fast, right? Because so many times we think, I'm just gonna sue you, I'm gonna go into court of law, and that I have that kind of thinking where it's like, oh, if this happens, just sue, just sue. And a part of that may be a reason because I watch a lot of lawyer type content, whatever. Who knows? Maybe I think suing is easier than I think it is, right? You just go talk to a lawyer, they say you got a case, you go get some money, and you know what I'm saying, you pay the lawyer, they get you some money back, and you good. Everybody's happy, hunky-dory. Anyway, but unless you not know what to do in the end thereof, right? You go into court, you rush in, and you don't know what happens, right? You find out, oh, my case isn't as strong as I think. I didn't know the law like I think. My lawyer's not as good as I think, right? And you don't understand what it is, or you rush into conflict. Turns out, bro ain't just some fat dude at Walmart. Bro's an NFL lineman shopping for his family, and now you on the floor looking stupid because you got Nick Bosa standing over you like, yeah, I'm like that. I was just watching some what's it called, some Chiefs clips or something. I'm not a Chiefs fan, right? You guys see me in my Eagles shirts plenty of times, right? But I was just seeing this. It's trending on Twitter, Patrick Mahomes, and I see Nick Bosa in the corner, and I thought of this lyric in my head from a song about him. Anyway, so yeah. But low key, would I be seeing these linemen and like these MMA fighters, and they like mad big? Like you think, oh, it's just some random other fat guy, right? But it's like, nah, bro. But he's running a 4.6, but he's benching at least 400 pounds, squatting at least 600. He hawking you down. He get paid to hawk down freaking Tyreek Hills. You think he ain't catching you? You think he ain't about to snap you like a twig? Like what? Come on now. But it just goes to show how easy it is to underestimate somebody, right? Especially people like that, right? Looks can be deceiving, case can be deceiving, thoughts can be deceiving, your words can be deceiving. So when it says you shouldn't rush into conflict, you don't know what's going to come out of that conflict, right? The whole book of Proverbs is about being prudent, right? Being wise, looking forward to the future and thinking what can happen here, what can happen here, right? And as they didn't have in this time, right? They didn't have that direct communication with God. We can pray for the outcomes to change of certain things. We can pray for wisdom and guidance, right? Solomon had to prove himself to God to get his wisdom in that sense, but we have access to that, right? On a daily basis through the sacrifice in Jesus Christ. We can pray to God to tell us what to do, to help us get through situations, and hoop the whatever you want to say. So it's not good to just rush into conflict, right? We should be taking a patient approach, applying our prudence that we're given in Jesus, right? Because the beginning of wisdom starts with the fear of the Lord. So apply your patience, use your prudence, use the most powerful weapon we have, prayer. Trust and believe. We easily forget that. There's sayings like, all we can do now is pray, but praying is the best thing we can do, because who else can you turn to besides the strongest dude in the universe, who got the ability to change your future, change your life, and all that stuff, So don't get into conflict too fast. You don't know what's going to happen in the end when your neighbor has put you to shame, right? Because I've seen a lot of videos, right, back in my day, or in my day, on Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want to call it, whatever app, YouTube, something, right? The World Star Fight compilations. You done seen all them people getting knocked out. You seen big dude talking some crazy mess, or little dude talking some crazy mess, walked up, Bink, bop, boom. He on the pavement. Seeing big dude walk up. Boom. Body slammed on the pavement. Now he's a pancake. Now with hands in the air going stupid. Now he, it's like there's a lot of different scenarios that you don't know how it's going to end, but it ends with your neighbor putting you to shame, right? And in verse 9, we see debate thy cause with your neighbor himself, right? Take it to him yourself and discover not a secret to another. Don't put this in front of nobody else until you guys have talked about it itself. And even Jesus said this in the New Testament, right? He said, when you have a problem with your brother, bring it to him one-on-one. If he don't listen to you, then you bring it in front of another two brothers, right? And you plead it in front of them. If he still don't listen, you bring it in front of the whole community. If he still don't, or if he turns his ways, you've got your brother back. And if you don't, you've lost him. Right? That's what Jesus said to do. Bring it to him first. Bring it to somebody else if you don't listen. Bring it to the whole group community if they don't listen still. And then if you get them back, you got them back. And if not, you don't. You've lost them. So it's important because this way it also mitigates conflict in the best possible scenario. You don't, you're just like, hey, let's talk. And this could be as simple as, hey man, I wanted to, let's go get lunch. Let's talk about what happened kind of thing. Like this is just extending an olive branch. It's nothing. I don't want to be hostile. I just want to have whatever. And they can respond to that however they see fit, right? It's not a cut and dry like, oh yeah, you do this and they're going to want to talk to you. Like it's not that, right? It's not that. It's a means to an end, but by no means is it the end of it itself, right? You got to exude forgiveness, even if you're in the wrong, right? I guess my married people who probably know about this. I'm not married. I'm just saying I see it all the time. All them jokes on social media. Oh, you can't be married until you know how to apologize and you did nothing wrong, right? But like that's a good thing. That's a good skill to have in life. Learning how to be a bigger person. Learning how to be able to suffer with a little bit of shame, like we do on a daily basis as Christians, for the greater good, right? So, I saw this video most recently. It was like, reach out to somebody or something. I don't exactly remember the context, but I remember my thought toward the video. And I thought, how many people would bat an eye? Oh, it was China Ann McClain. If you guys remember, she was big on Disney Channel back in the day. She was on like Ant Farm. She was on a lot of other stuff, to be honest. And I cannot remember everything she's been in, but she was a classic Disney Channel actress back in the day. Ant Farm was my joint. Right, I ain't watch it too often because like I think it was on the way out when I was on the way in, but it was fire. But the point of the video was that she was saying like the snake in the garden analogy. It was a video from the Gospel Chops. If I can remember in editing, I will link his video down below. It was literally just like her video and him watching it and him giving a little bit of talk. It wasn't too much of a reaction, so to speak, but like if I can find the original video, to be honest, I'm not going to look for it. But if you want to watch that video, I highly recommend it. But the point saying, like, if there's a snake in the garden and I was just in the garden and I don't tell you, but then you come back in after getting bit and say, there's a snake in the garden, and I was like, I know, then you're going to look at me like, why didn't you tell me there's a snake in the garden? Because I just got bit. Like, come on now, I thought we was cool. Right? And you're going to get mad at me. And then it's not a proper defense of myself to say, well, I didn't want to force my belief that there was a snake in the garden on you if you didn't believe me. Same way that we should spread the gospel, right? You just let them know. If they don't take the advice, there's not much else you could do other than like, hey, I told you because I love you and I want the best for you. You willingly walked into that snake. I can't help you there, right? That's as simple as it gets. However, there was a point in the video where she was talking about like being God-led, right? That is God like gonna take the action in their steps to help them believe, so to speak. I don't remember the exact points that it brought up, but I remember it was something along the lines of me thinking, if you told somebody, God has put it on my heart to tell you about the gospel of Jesus, they're not gonna know what that means. They're not gonna accept that. They're gonna be like, why did God not just put it on your heart to shut up? You know what I'm saying? Because she mentioned how she knows that God is real. Based on her experience in the Hollywood industry, she knows that God is real, right? And a lot of people, she brought up the another quote unquote analogy. I don't know if this is the best word. She said, if your favorite color is blue, and I said, no, it's not. It's like, you know that it's true. I don't have to believe to know that it's true, but you know that your favorite color is blue. I can choose to believe that or not. You can think that I'm lying, whatever the case is, but I know it is. She said, I know God is real. I know where I'm going after death, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, other point, And then I thought, if you told somebody, God has put it on my heart to take you out to lunch, who's turning down a free lunch in the name of God, right? You can turn down a gospel in the name of God. God told me to spread the gospel to you. All right, I don't want it. Keep it to yourself. Fuck, right? But if you say, God's brought it on my heart to take you to lunch, I want to do something nice for you because God told me to do so. You gonna say no to that? They're gonna use God when it's convenient, just like they use his name when it's convenient, when you can't think of any other way to say, oh, I'm so angry right now and this thing is frustrating. You say JC's name. And that's it. 2 little words that equal a name that is the most powerful being in the universe. And you out here just throwing it around willy-nilly to express your frustration when really it should be a call for joy. And I bet that's low-key how it started, was when something good would happen to you. You'd be like, Jesus Christ. And you'd be so happy because you'd be like, dang, Jesus really opened these doors for me and let me into this place. And he got me feeling these amazing feelings, right? However, over time, it shifted. Well, I don't know if it ever was positive, but right now, it's just, I'm frustrated, I'm impatient, I'm mad, I'm whatever negative feeling insert you want to do. It's, oh, God, JC, oh my gosh, you know, and there's all these different things, right? However, we still have, so which I think is really beautiful, we have some of the foundations of our language stem from God, right? When we saying goodbye, it's a shortened, condensed version of God be with ye. So whenever you say goodbye, you're saying God be with you, just shorter, essentially. And same thing with Spanish. It's so beautiful to me. Instead of this, like adios is just a shortened, condensed version of vaya con Dios, which is go with God. So vaya, go, con, with, Dios, God. And I don't know if Dios is supposed to be plural. Like, I don't know if it's supposed to be vaya con Dios or vaya con Dios. But adios is low key. I don't know if I haven't taken Spanish in a minute, but in French at least, means to, right? So it'd be like to God, which is low key crazy because you'd be like, we about to die, we going to God, or we walking to God, walking with God. I don't know how that works. Like, what are you trying to say to me, right? But vaya con Dios would be, you know, go with God, like goodbye, but go with God, you know. And I think it's just really beautiful, and it sounds beautiful, like vaya con Dios. You know, yeah, this might have been the saddest. I feel like Pastor Paul for real, going through one verse for a thing, but he one time went for like 40 minutes with one verse. I ain't never got that crazy. Verse 10 is included. We'll wrap it up with this one. Lest he hears it and puts you to shame, and thy infamy turn not away. Right? So unless he hears the problem, or the people that hear the problem are the ones that put you to shame, and your infamy doesn't go away, right? So you're like, hey, let me not talk to my brother, let me just go to everybody first, and they're like, you're evil, shame on you. And now everybody shames you, and your infamy doesn't leave you, and now for the rest of your life you're a guy that goes and spreads lies. You're a liar now for the rest of your life, and that shame sticks with you, and you just got to deal with it. You just got to deal with it. All right, that's gonna be the end of the video. Hope you guys have yourself a fantastic rest of your day. Peace.